Welcome back, everybody, for our final map tutorial here. We're going over Blackheart's Bay, the 5th in this series. It is the last map currently available. We'll have some more out in the future. Definitely go over those as they are released. But let's get to it. This is Blackheart's Bay. Ahoy, mateys! The ghost pirate Blackheart has staked his claim upon the realm. I don't even know. I don't even think I sound like a pirate. No. I'm not the best at vocal impressions, but he's staked his claim upon the realm of Mist Harbor. His raucous undead pirate crew is poured onto the streets, claiming the once thriving marketplace as their new den of vice and villainy. Look out, everybody! The pirates are around. They're about. They're coming to take your booty. And yes, that is the name of the game here. We're collecting treasure. You do collect doubloons. You can attack treasure chests, mercenaries, and skeletons to collect doubloons. You want to capture these. You'll then carry them around on your hero, and you want to turn them in before you die. Yes, turning in doubloons. You hand them over to Blackheart. Otherwise, as it says, you do drop them all as you die. If you've turned in a sufficient number of coins, you'll trigger a bombard. The cannons on the ship will fire. As it says, yes, it will shoot towards the enemy structures. That's right. Their buildings, their towers, their gates, and their forts and keeps. And fountains as well, taking those down. Let's get into this a little bit here and take a look at the picture. You can see if we zoom out a tiny bit, get the full map in here. It's a pretty cool tile set. It looks awesome. I love it. And there's some cool special effects. It is a 3-lane map, of course, and there's kind of actually, interesting enough, a 4th lane, but it's not really a lane. In that, the turn-in right here, this is where you go to turn doubloons in. We'll cover this in a second, but there's kind of like a 4th, almost enough room for 4 lanes here. The bottom lane is right here. Then you've got the mid lane goes up and over the middle and comes down the other side, and then you've got the top lane up top. We'll turn some of these things off for a second. You can see the structures. There is a single watchtower here. It's actually kind of, if you look at the mini-map in-game with these structures here and then this here, it looks like a smiley face. So you can kind of go fight over this in the beginning. A lot of people do that for fun. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it though. And so this is a Zelnaga watchtower kind of thing you can claim, and it will actually reveal kind of all the way over to here and down into the mid lane and up towards the top of the top lane. And you can see, we're in close now, you can see the layout. It's always that same 3-tower gate style with the fountain and then the keeper fort plus the 2 walls there. That's, as usual. Let's see, what do we want to go with first? Let's go over the market camps, since that's the same. They don't really change from the other maps. Now, there are a total of 5, 6, 7, 8 mark camps. My math serves me correctly. No. 10. There's 10. And they are a little bit different. We'll zoom out. You can see them all. Turning off the structures now. So there are 10 mark camps. You have a split down the middle. There's the golem, a boss up here, just like on Cursed Hollow. You have the grave golem up here. You can capture this guy, and he'll push the top lane for you. He's a boss. He spawns 3 minutes in. Wouldn't recommend soloing him till maybe late in the game. Definitely go after him as a team. And then it's split. You have another neutral camp at the bottom, in that it is a hard camp, a knight's camp. Right here, your traditional knight's camp. This will push the bottom lane for you. This and all the other camps spawn at 40 seconds into the match. Now zooming out a little bit, the rest of the camps are split down the middle, symmetrical. You've got another hard camp for both teams here on the top right and the top left. These camps will push the top lane, just as the grave golem will. You can see, and they're kind of surrounded by these grasses that you can hide in here. Easy to kind of gank them, but they're safe and secure behind your mid fort. So, you can definitely steal these. It's a little risky early, but you can do it. And then they'll push the top lane. You have to be careful. You don't want to get ganked. And of course, also I should note, around the watchtower there is the same thing, the shrubbery, that prevents you from seeing inside. So if the enemy team has this, they could be setting up a gank as an ambush as you walk in through the bushes. Then we have, let's go over the easy camps first, and then we'll come back to these camps up top. You have an easy camp that will push bottom lane for both teams right here. And there's some steam vents. It's some mist you can hide in right there. And then likewise on the other side, the other easy camp. These push the bottom lane. And of course, by the knight's camp, there's some more steam. These are areas you can hide in. And up here, there's some more steam vents to hide in. And a couple by the turn-in, as we were talking about earlier. And then you've got the other 4 camps that we haven't talked about yet. are doubloon camps. We click on it. They say skeletons. They're kind of like the skeletons from Haunted Mines, in that they're pretty easy to kill. And they don't push a lane for you. They will die. But they do give you 2 doubloons. All of these merc camps, from the grave golem to the knights to the giants to the doubloons, the skeleton camps here, they'll all give you 2 coins a piece. And remember, you want to save these coins up and turn them in, so you can get 2 from each camp. These guys are not necessarily a good source of experience or lane push power, but they're good, really good for getting those coins. And you can see there's 4 of those, one on either side of the watchtower, and then one on either side of the turn-in. And you've got some vents here that block vision as well. You've got all these little tunnels, a place to hide right here if you want. There's a shark. These guys actually animate if you, I think if you have to walk closely to them or cast an ability on them, they'll actually set the shark loose and it will dive into the waters below. It's a cool little animation that Blizzard put in the game. And so those are the merc camps. We've talked about all 10 of them. So let's go ahead and talk about the legendary, the actual how the mechanics, the objectives of the game works. And it involves the balloons, right? You get in these gold coins. At 50 seconds in, these 2 chests, the top and bottom right here, this is the turn-in, but the top and bottom legendaries here are chests. Treasure chests, they take 5 hits. They don't have a health pool, they have a hit counter. You have to attack them 5 times. I believe, no, it's actually more than that. I'm sorry about that. They do have multiple hit counters. I actually had to count those to see how many there are. And so you have to hit them a certain number of times to open them up. And they'll drop coins. They have a total of 5 coins each. They'll drop the first 2 coins separately, and then the last 3 coins will drop out when you've taken down the chest completely. And you'll fight over these. They spawn at 50 seconds in, and then we'll talk about the turn-in in a second, but after the turn-in, the objective completes, they will respawn between 150 and 210 seconds. So that's 2.5 minutes to 3.5 minutes. After a turn-in's over, you'll have chests back up. I think that's correct. That might actually, I have to check that. There is a timer. I think it's shorter. The notes I had said that, but that seems a little bit long. I think that might be from when they've last spawned. It could be 2.5 to 3.5. I'll have to double check that. There is a timer for these, though. It's a little bit random, like the RNG on the Cursed Hollow. Just know that they will respawn. You can kind of try and keep track of that on your own there. And of course, once you've gathered coins, you can turn them in at the little pirate guy right here, Blackheart, and here's his ship. So the idea is you need to turn in a certain number of coins to trigger the cannons on the ship firing. You can see some cannons here. He'll fire, I believe, a total of 12 cannonballs per turn-in per ship, and they do a tremendous amount of damage to structures. Now, the turn-ins increment. If you're familiar with, say, Risk, where you would get so many armies each time you turned in cards, and it incremented over time. Well, in this case, it's the number of coins required to trigger a firing of the ship that increases. It starts at 10 for both teams, and each time you turn in, your counter will go up by 2 coins. So the second turn in for your team will require 12, and then 14, and it keeps increasing all the way up. And they do the same amount of damage, so it's harder to get turn-ins in ships later in the game if you've used them up early. And that's something to keep in mind when you think about strategies for this map. You'll always turn them in the same place. You have to channel. It does take a few seconds to turn in here. And of course, you can be ambushed while you're turning them in. If you die, you lose all of the coins that you were carrying, with the exception of the Abathur clone. It's really cool. With Abathur, the clone can actually pick up coins, and it will not lose them. To get the coins from Abathur, you actually have to kill Abathur himself. A really cool tactic on this map, actually. And the other thing is damage. I don't have the statistics in front of me. I believe it's about 6 cannon shots to take a fort at from full HP to death, all the way down. 7 for a keep, and then I want to say 3 to 4 for a tower and the gate. I think it's 3 for a tower and maybe 4 for the gate itself. So if you fire 12 cannonballs, half of the turn-in will get the towers if they're at full health. Then you'll get the gate down, and you'll get a couple shots onto the fort. It's also 1 shot per fountain, and it will take down the fountain as well. It'll fire on the towers here and the gate first, then it hits the fountain, then it hits the fort, and then I think it actually hits this tower first as well. You can check this out in game to see. We'll see how it goes when we trigger this in game. And the idea is it does have a set order that it fires in, and it's a set amount of damage that it does. So if you push a lane early and you get these towers and the gate down, you can actually get the fort if you do it right. And it's definitely a tactic to keep in mind as we go in. But that's enough for now. Let's go ahead and jump in and show off the mechanics in game, show you how it works, and have some fun with the AI here in the last of our 5 map tutorials.